Leningrad Documentary Film Studio and the organisers of the first Leningrad International Non-Feature Film Festival present Orna Bendorniv, Leo Gurvitz, Michael Leshilovsky, Richard Leacock, Erwin Liza, Natalia Makarova, Andrei Nuikin, Janet Petri, Ivo Seletskis, Alan Frankovich. In Message to Man.
Литвякову, Ленинградский кинофестиваль.
To Mr. Lityakov, Leningrad Film Festival. The films from Bulgaria haven't yet arrived in Sheremetyevo.
January 1989, the first international non-feature film festival in Leningrad. Natalia Makarova, Leningrad ballet star of the 60s, has returned to her native land after 18 years of voluntary exile. The time has come to gather stones. The organisers of the Leningrad Festival invited Natalia Makarova and her film Ballerina to take part in the festival.
When you landed at the airport, what were you thinking about?
I honestly wasn't thinking about anything. My heart was beating so fast, I couldn't think. I really had to try and keep control of my emotions.
Did you ever believe that this would really happen?
No, I didn't. I thought that this day might come, but only when I was old, not now. Not while I'm still young. But I'm actually here, now.
The Leningrad Film Festival attracted over 1,000 guests from 50 countries. The festival was covered by 273 reporters and photographers. 45 film businessmen showed interest in the film market. They queued up for their identity cards. The festival jury was led by the famous Swiss art critic and director Erwin Liza, in Leningrad for the first time.
Die Poesie. Das ist eine Stadt, die zur Poesie anregt.
I find this city as inspiring as poetry.
Yes, music captured by stone, as we say.
Welche Musik denken Sie?
I've read a lot about this beautiful city. I've always wanted to see Leningrad in the winter and the frozen Neva.
I'm afraid it hasn't snowed this year.
But then it's more like spring, which is somehow symbolic.
Aber Frühling, wie Frühling.
I called the retrospective of my films To Be a Man. I think that this is in keeping with the festival motto. We have a common purpose, to know each other better. Lack of knowledge always engenders mistrust and prejudice.
So viele Vorurteile mehr haben. Wir können einander auch nicht hassen, weil wir einander kennen. Und man hasst immer das, was unbekannt ist.
How can we know each other better? Through meetings, discussions, the screening of films, perhaps by making a film. After all, it is our guest profession. We suggested to the subjects of our film to shoot whatever attracted their interest in Leningrad. The first to take up our proposal was the film director from Riga, Ivar Seletsky's, who brought to our festival his film The Crossroads. The magnificent facade of the city did not attract him.
They were here in the morning. Maybe the wind drove them away.
I see them.
What? You see them?
There they are. I can see them, right there.
Let's get closer and watch them. We could call this the Leningrad Crow. I'm sure nobody will ever try to shoot a film like this. You can put it at the beginning and then have them flying away at the end. A parallel montage. Here's another one. I think we should move a little closer.
Too many of us are here as well.
Okay, as usual, we'll have to wait.
Где наши дорогущие? Ну, как всегда, придется ждать.
They are gathering.
Yes, they are. There were some very unusual games going on this morning.
Милостивые государи и государыни, обо мне сказывают, что я прорубил окно.
Ladies and gentlemen, they say I've opened a window from Russia onto Europe, but today I want to open a window onto the whole world, for the benefit of our state and for the benefit of all mankind. I want to express my personal gratitude and that of my citizens for the honor of being the first to found a glorious tradition, an international festival of non-feature films. God be with you.
Бог вам помощь!
The festival has begun.
Я вчера прочитал афишу. В общем, прекрасный документальный фильм.
I have just read the placard. Excellent documentary films. Khrushchev and Bulganin in Helsinki. Khrushchev and Bulganin in India. Very interesting. I'd like to see for myself how it all really happened.
I'm interested in documentaries. I like Alexander Sukhodov's films. They make you think.
Think about what?
About life, events, about what's going on in the world right now.
These are the lessons we have had to learn. Lessons of the past. Lessons for the future.
Documentary cinema is our conscience.
Что они там кричат?
What are they shouting?
Vendée.
Sorry, what did you say?
It is a district in France where the counter-revolution gathered momentum.
Glasnost has created a great many opportunities for making realistic films. These are clips from Arkady Rudiman and Yuri Khrushchevsky's film The Counterclaim. At first they planned on making a cinema portrait of the Belarusian writer Alice Adamovich. But when they witnessed the breakup of a demonstration about the victims of Stalin's repressions, the authors decided to expand the original idea. Filming according to immediate reaction is typical of documentary cinema under Perestroika. The new level of truth and the artistic quality of the many Soviet films shown at the festival caught the attention of our many foreign guests.
We went into the large monastery yard. In the past, we crossed that yard only to get to a...
Stalin's Care. Film documents. Lilia Lieberman.
The girl is reciting a poem, thanking Stalin for her happy childhood.
It is natural to expect truth in documentary films, but not every epoch needs this truth. What we do find surprising is that documentary fragments made in order to glorify the great leader in time come to denounce him. This is the essence of the film document. Year by year it becomes more valuable. So what then is the relationship between myth and truth in a documentary? Do you think that cinema portrayed the image of the time, or did it create a special type of mythology?
I think there are times when the man-made myth is something quite noble and is rooted in morality. There's nothing terrible in the notion of myth, but when reality is dictated on purpose, when evil myths are created in order to satisfy mercenary interests, then we must first fight them, and fight the films which actively took part in the generation of such myths.
Director Viktor Semeniuk and the social, political and art essay writer Andrei Nuikin are in conversation in the Professional Cinema Club.
Dziga Vertov worked with sincerity and enthusiasm. He believed in what he was doing. The other thing is that the misleading clips from the film we've just seen are made mechanically and without any hint of genuine art. There is a great difference between them.
Andrei Alexandrovich thinks that if a lie is refined, then it has the right to exist.
That's not right. About Dziga Vertov, I mean that it is possible for a man to be mistaken. But to lie is another thing. It is when you know that something is wrong and still insist on doing it.
Does an artist have the right to make mistakes?
He will make mistakes regardless. An infallible human race has yet to be created. Is socialism a myth or a grand illusion? Or is it the highest goal mankind can aim for?
The state monopoly on ideology always engenders myths. We overestimate many of them today, says Catherine Harkovich of Leningrad, member of the society Memorial.
Я была в свое время еще в Смольном институте, я еще воспитанница Смольного института. Когда происходила революция, то...
I was educated at the Smolny Institute. When the revolution took place, we were children then. Those who stood for the Tsar wore white bows, while those who stood for the revolution wore red ones. It was all very naive and laughable. But later, those with red bows, as well as those with white ones, met each other in the camps or abroad as émigrés. It was a terrible time, of course. Terrible.
Orna Ben-Dor is a film director from Israel. The absence of diplomatic relations between the two states does not today prevent creative contacts between the two peoples.